Welcome to the OMG Talk podcast with Paul Finkelstein. Great advice and talk with small business owners, workaholics, and whiz-bang entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Paul Finkelstein.
Meeting is recorded so that I could have it for my evaluation purposes. And then if anybody objects to me sharing it on the podcast, the audio version, maybe the video version, I'll do that if anybody doesn't object to it. But I'm just using it for the evaluation purposes for the meeting. Since you guys are here early, we will have self-introductions, and we'll get to do that for the early birds, I suppose. But I do have an inspiration as acting as Sergeant at Arms for our future founding and charter member club called, I'm still fighting with what I'm going to call this club, or what we should call this club, because I have OMG Biz Cafe, I have Biz Leaders, Business Leaders, Demonstration Toastmasters. I was even thinking about keeping in the word demonstration there because I feel like we're always demonstrating Toastmasters. I'm almost thinking of keeping that. So still working on that, but this is the inspiration for today on tape, on audio, for the record. Here's your inspiration for today. I got it out of this great book over here called The Portable Pep Talk. I stole it from Sarah's library. And it is Take a Walk Around Yourself is the name of it. When you're criticizing others and are finding here and there a fault or two to speak of or weaknesses you can tear. When you're blaming someone's meanness or accusing one of pelf. I don't know what pelf is, but somebody can look it up for me. It's time that you went out to take a walk around yourself. There's lots of human failures in the average of us all, and lots of grave shortcomings in the short ones and the tall. But when we think of evils men should lay upon the selves, it's time we all went out to take a walk around ourselves. We need so often in this life this balancing set of scales, thus seeing how much in and us wins and how much in us fails. But before you judge another, just lay them on the self, not the shelf. It would be splendid plan to take a walk around yourself. And this was written by Helen Welschimer, Welschimer, Helen, in The Portable Pep Talk. That's your inspiration for today. Have no fear, by the way, Sherry. I am your timer for today. I do have a green and I have some yellow in this, and then I have red. So these are my books for the timer. Our next
Which one's the green one?
The green one?
For us colorblind people?
Oh, could you see it's green?
If you leave that side, I can tell you that it's life, and I can read that part of it. So, no, okay, I can't tell you it's green.
This one's going to be green, and this one has yellow in it. If it looks okay for you, that's going to be the yellow. And this one is the red.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sure I'm going to be displaying those a lot during the meeting. The next portion of the meeting is the Pledge of Allegiance, because Ralph Smedley I want to do him proud that he founded Toastmasters 6 days before my birthday on October 22, 1924. Now, that wasn't 6 days before my birthday, the 24 part, but obviously the 22 part. I was born way after 1924. I suspect you guys also, and use guys is 2 words. Okay. All right. So the word of today, because I'm going to play the role of the word grammarian as well. And the word, because I like to do multitasking, Sherry, also. We have things in common. So we have some common ground here, as business leaders should have. So the word of the day is inspiring. And I'm going to give you the definition of the word inspiring because we might not all not know what it means. I hope you guys all do, but I'm going to give you the definition, which is to give some positive feelings. To give some positive feelings. And I'm going to use the word inspiring in a sentence. Mary, Ruth, and Sherry are sure going to be extremely inspiring in today's meeting. Because if they're not, I'm going to hit the X button and no, just kidding. That wouldn't be positive. Okay, all right. And now the sergeant at arms is going to introduce to you the president pro tem, which is just a temporary president until we could be founding and chartered here. And I'm going to turn me to the club president, pound my gavel, my water gavel. It didn't break. Okay. And we're going to do some self introductions. And all you need to do is no short, long speeches here. You just and not hard to remember because you were given this since you were born. You just have to say your name and the city where you're at right now. And the state too, in case we don't recognize it. I'm sure we will. So when I point to you and say your name, you'll repeat your name because I can't point. We're not going to know which one is you. So let's start with Ruth. You could say your name and your accent so we could kind of guess where you're from and your city and your state.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ruth Fieldbeck, and I'm in Lantana, Florida.
Lantana, Florida. Okay. Look at that. Remember that accent. And then there's Mary. Go ahead. Repeat your name and your accent and your city and where and your state.
Mary Stanley. I live in the Children of the Cornland, Medford, Minnesota.
Medford, Minnesota. Okay. And then we have Sota. Okay. I said corrected. And Sherry, state your name, your city, and your state with that beautiful accent where you're from.
I'm Sherry White, and I am in Lake Worth, Florida.
Excellent. I detect the Lake Worth, Florida accent there. Okay.
Yeah, right.
It was very inspiring to me. You have to try to use the word.
I was about to say you were very inspiring, but I'll get my turn.
I think so. And now that we've done all you almost missed it. You got here just in time, Pamela.
I'm sorry, Paul. I apologize, everyone. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad you're here. We start on time at 5:30 because Toastmasters has this rule, the 4 cardinal rule, which is respect, integrity, service, and excellence. And we're fighting for that, but we know that it's a brand new charter founding club. We're glad you're here. And by the way, before we continue, are you willing to be one of our 4 to 6 minute business introduction speeches?
Is that for today or is that another day? I was here. I didn't click. The problem is I didn't click the link that was on your actual website. Okay. And when you go into Lineable, you'll see I was messaging you. Oh. But I'm apologize.
Okay, no problem. We all accept. So you don't have to, because I think I'll ask Mary instead, and you can still participate also, and you're going to do it right now. Mary, you're willing to? I bet you are. Okay. So
yes, I will.
So Pamela, but this is the shortest speech you will ever give in your life, and it's great practice for public speaking. When I point to you and say your name, you'll repeat your name and your city and state where you're from. So Pamela, go ahead. Say us your name and where you're from, your city and state.
Pamela Williams. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri.
Excellent.
But she doesn't sound like somebody from Kansas City, Missouri.
I know. That accent gives it away, right? I've been here a while now. I've been here for 25 years now. So this is very much home for me.
Well, welcome. And now we have as a summary, I'll do a little summary because there's a few of us. We might get some stragglers. I was hoping for 100 because I really invited a lot today. And if you guys invite a lot and I invite a lot, next week we'll be overflowing in this theater. So as a brief, you can see that there's a Ruth and there's a Sherry and a Mary. Mary, and Paul, and Ruth is, say your city again, Lantana.
Lantana, Florida.
Lantana, Florida. She's from Pennsylvania, and she sounds like she's from where you are. That's the humor, so I'm playing with it. But and Mary's from Minnesota. I said it right this time. And Sherry's from Lake Worth. Lake Worth. I can't even get an accent out of that. Lake Worth.
No.
And I'm Paul Del Rey. Del Rey. All right. Del Rey rhymes with the Fonz's favorite expression. Did everybody know what the Fonz is from Happy Days, or I just
Yeah, from Happy Days. Yeah.
Goodness,
he was always very inspiring.
Yeah.
Still is.
Okay. All right.
That is very true. Still is.
On that note, we have concluded. The other people that didn't get here in time missed the self-introductions because I have to introduce our Toastmaster of the evening and Toastmaster to be, since we're still unofficial, but a demonstration business leader Toastmasters Club. But have no fear because we have some Toastmasters that have been Toastmasters for a long time. Ruth and myself, we met in Toastmasters, and Sherry got a chance to experience Toastmasters, and I'm sure even Mary got a chance to experience it. And Pamela, did you ever get the chance to experience any Toastmasters?
Yeah, it's been years ago.
Okay, so
maybe 15 years ago at least.
We have to get the dust off. And 15 years was the exact amount of time that I left my first Toastmasters Club after only like 9 months. I quit because I got busy with work. And 15 years later, Ruth ran into my wife. She didn't get hurt. And
excuse me.
To Toastmasters. And we didn't look back. We went 7 years straight. I went all the way to Distinguished Toastmaster, and I figured, you know what? Until we have a founding club, tell people that they can get free business coaching for 2 to 3 minutes from a Distinguished Toastmaster. Or if you guys have done 3 speeches yet, we'll even let you learn to do evaluations, because you learn to be a better speaker by doing evaluations, because you're doing a speech on the fly of another speaker for 2 to 3 minutes, and giving them some good, not just criticism, not just constructive, but really positive feedback, very inspiring feedback, right, Sherry? Okay, so Sherry, without further ado, which is a terrible cliche, I know, Ruth is just, can't stand it when I say that, and Mary's got like butterflies that want to just come out of her and squirt water guns at me. So Sherry is a enrolled agent. What else could I say? I met her when I was an intern, believe it or not, in college, and met her many decades later. We got reunited. So what a coincidences, and coincidence could happen to you here today. So this is our Toastmaster of the evening, and we didn't do the counter yet, which we'll hear about. So I guess you can get away with the ahs and likes and knows before the actual Toastmasters talks. No, but all right. So help me welcome Sherry. Give her a round of applause. Okay.
Weren't we supposed to do the Pledge of Allegiance before you introduced me?
Thank you very much. I didn't mean to sidestep that. So if you guys want to stand within your box, or you want to put up your hand, or you want to stand and we could just see your chest and what's on it, that's fine. And help me say the Pledge of Allegiance. Sergeant Arms.
Oh, gosh.
I pledge of allegiance to the
flag
of the United States
of America,
and to the
And to
republic
the republic
for which it
for which it stands,
one nation,
One nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty,
liberty and justice.
justice for all.
for all.
Are you reading the Pledge of Allegiance?
He's bloody.
Me?
Look like you are reading it. Do you not know it by now?
I do, but I have this fear that I'm in front of this.
Forget a word?
In front of this screen here, and I'm gonna like forget something. It's happened even without reading it. So we all have our crutches, if you will, but I really do love the Pledge of Allegiance. I have 2 flags outside my house, and I love people that serve in the military like Mary. So thank you for serving as well. I guess I'm giving away all my hints.
Scott Kayuk wants to join you.
Oh, tell him to go to omgtalk.com. Okay. I might have another guest. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I got earlier, so if he made his way, that's great.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. All right. So back to you, Sherry, to tell us about what is the parts to a Toastmaster meeting and the helpers involved. How does that stuff work? Put you on the spot. I'm giving you a hint.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. There are 3 parts to a Toastmasters meeting. There's the prepared speeches, 4 to 6 minutes each. The table topics, which are 1 to 2 minutes each. And then the evaluations.
And you have helpers, 3 of them.
Right. I'm just reading. I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
I didn't have time to prepare, so I'm
That's
doing the
okay.
best that I can.
I'm your helper.
At the
You're the
end,
helper.
at the
Go ahead.
at the end of the meeting, we'll be giving out 2 awards: Best Table Topics and Best Evaluator.
Oh, you don't have to say that part. Just the 3 parts were good enough, by the way. We'll
Okay, I did the 3 parts.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
But
You did the inspiration.
But you do have to introduce the 3 helpers.
Yes.
Do that.
And that's tag.
Yes. That's how you remember. how-
Timer, which is Paul.
Oh, so all I have to say for that, and the same thing for the other roles, I'm going to keep track as timer during all parts of the meeting. Thanks. Back to you, Toastmaster. Sherry.
And the counter
Oh,
is
I'll be that. Actually, you know what? Mary.
You want me to do it again?
Is that Mary? Is she there?
I'm
Yeah,
here.
You do because you need more practice with that. I think I do, but go ahead. You could do it. So tell everybody your job is to
Oh, there.
keep track of what are the filler words are, tell us what they are, and then sit down, which you already are.
So my job is to keep track of the filler words such as like, as
Okay.
if.
You're even demonstrating it. That's great. Inspiring.
very much so.
My kids did not get the memo to summer break. My son is still working on English classes during the day.
Okay. But congratulations on not saying "ah" during that sentence. Now, Sherry, the 3rd helper is the grammarian. Since I gave the word of the day, I'll volunteer that for you, which is the grammarian's duty is to keep track of the use of English language, inspiring language, and how many times you all use the word of the day inspiring when you're asked to speak. And if you don't have to speak as a guest, by the way, but everybody's encouraged to participate in table topics, which I think we're going to have to come up with that on the fly, Sherry, by the way, because Mia is either she has
Not here.
construction getting to an online meeting. I'm not certain yet. Stuff happens, so I'm not upset, and I don't show it, right? So I'm trying to think of.
I got it covered. I got table topics
You
covered.
got that big list that you got, right? So
I do.
congratulations, you have another role to do. You need
And we got AI.
I will. What was that?
We have AI.
We do.
No, I have a list.
She does.
Perfect.
She has a list that she was prepared.
I have a list.
Good Toastmaster.
And
Good Toastmaster does.
what we need, Mr. President Pro Tem, is for you to do your timer roll during the table topics.
Right. Okay. So as soon as since now you're the toast, you're transitioning into the table topics role. So we should now congratulate you for doing a great job as Toastmaster of the evening, and now we're congratulating you as stepping into your now new role of table topics. And you're asking me of how the timing parameters work for table topics, which are 1 minute, you will see the green book. It looks green, but if you're colorblind like Mary, just remember life is the green book. And then that'll be at 1 minute. Does that mean I have to time too? I guess I have to time too. Okay. So not just hold up the books. And then this
Yeah.
yellow in here, which will be at the 1.5 minute mark.
If you flip that book around, it's more yellow on the other side.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
Yes.
Look at that.
Thank you, Mary.
1.5 minutes. And then at 2 minutes, you'll see this red book at 2.5 minutes, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. But we won't clap you off. But we really will ding you somehow because we do have a full meeting for you. And back to you, Table Topics Master Sherry, not just Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay. We got the parameters.
You remember though too that you call the topic first.
I was just going to say, let's see if I do this right.
Mary needs practice with this, so watch what Sherry does. By the way,
This is only the third week that I've done this.
yes.
What is your number one goal for the next 6 months, Ruth?
Well, Table Topics Master Sherry, that is a very inspiring question. And President Paul and Mary, I like the yellow on the back of the book. The goal for me for right now is to get hired with a new job. I was recently downsized about a month or so ago, and I know that there's an employer out there who's a perfect match for me, and I'm really looking forward to starting new employment. I've really enjoyed being off from work for the last month and re-energizing. Now it's time, and I've been feeling more inspired. So I'm looking forward. And I'm also building my business, which is part of why I'm here tonight. It's called Positively Representing You. I'm also a certified doula, and I'm exploring the adventure of life, enjoying the inspiration of where life can take me. I'll see where the next 6 months go. During the next 6 months, I'll also be celebrating my birthday. And I'm close to retirement age, but there's still a few more years to put in to service and to become a little more prepared to plan for retirement. And I'm also enjoying being with my husband, my cat, and some of my friends in the local community. That's my 6 month plan. And I imagine I could also come up with a 4 or 5 month plan. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Next one is, are you happy with yourself, Mary?
Oh, she's muted.
No, no.
For some reason, I have to keep on muting. It keeps muting me on here.
Okay,
I think
we'll start.
Albert is mad at me since I've been gone for so long.
I'm starting it now. Then.
So, Table Topics Master, thank you. Am I happy with myself? Sort of. So I have taken time away from work to educate more on my business and what I do and dealing with my kids and their issues. So I haven't been able to get out there as much to expand what I'm doing. Home life is where I am very happy with myself because I've learned to prioritize my family when it comes to the children who are both special, to fine tune everything that they're doing to help them grow and adapt and speak and do what they need to do to become productive citizens someday. And they have developed my type of sarcasm, and it's been backfiring on Mom. But it's a great thing. You know, seeing a child who was nonverbal for so many years become verbal and sarcastic on top of that all really made it what I do worthwhile and really helped me grow and be happy and understand, everything that's going on happens for a reason. And that is why I am sort of happy with myself, not completely, but I will get there by the end of summer. Thank you, Table Topic Master.
What is the meaning of peace to you, Pamela?
Oh gosh. Thank you, Table Topic Master. To me, the meaning of peace is being able to have a state of mind where you have clarity. The meaning of peace is also, to me, where you're able to connect and interact with other people in a way that doesn't bring hardship. Instead, it fosters community, it fosters relationships, and it fosters deeper connections with other people. The meaning of peace really is how we shut off the outside noise, because in our world today, we're bombarded by images and we're bombarded by technical advances that, to me, exacerbate hardships. But if we can filter out the noise and actually go inside, that's where we find our peace. By connecting and by meditating, we'll connect to Christ. For me, I'm a great proponent and believer in Christ. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my connection with Christ and my spirituality. The biggest thing to me with peace is our thoughts, being able to manage our thoughts and our emotions, being able to be in a space where we can recognize that if we're thinking negatively, if we're conscious of that, we can then make the changes by using a technique that I use called catch and change, which is basically cognitive reframing. So we can reframe a negative thought in a positive light, like things will get better, things happen for a reason. So to me, that's the meaning of peace, filtering out the noise and going inside. Thank you, Topics Master.
Next, if your life was a novel, what would be the title, and how would your story end, Paul?
Somehow I thought that I was next. Although we haven't heard from Sherry yet, though. But since I was called, fellow Toastmasters to be, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome all of the guests, especially Table Topic Master and Toastmaster of the evening, Sherry White. That's what the W stands for, in case you guys are going to stay up nights just trying to wonder what that stands for. What was the question again, Sherry?
If your life was a novel, what would be the title, and how would your story end?
How would my story end, and what would the title be of the album? I think I want to, and I'm going to tell you that what's the most important thing is the technique of actually asking the Table Topic Master to repeat the topic is a not just a stall tactic, but it gives you a chance to formulate your thoughts, add some more pregnant pause in there, and a pause is not bad in a speech. You might have 5,000 people looking at you if you're in a big auditorium, but all those 5,000 people are either wondering what you're going to say next or they're going to search for the nearest tomato. Just kidding. They're not. But Table Topics is not meant to stump anybody. It's just to help us think better on our feet and learn my two favorite words, which are pivot and segue. And if we could learn to pivot and segue to an entirely different topic, it might piss off a Table Topic Master because they work so hard coming up with those topics. But pivoting and segue is an important skill as well. What say you, Table Topic Master?
I say that was inspiring.
I'm not going to say thank you because you should be thanking me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. What would you not give up for $1 million in cash? And that's to me. Thank you, self.
No.
Thank you, self. I'm thanking the Table Topics Master. I would not give up my family for $1 million in cash. My family means too much to me. That would be my husband. That would be my daughter and my son in law and my son and my wonderful 9.5-year-old granddaughter. When my children were growing up, they were definitely part of the most important to me, and they still are. It means a lot to have them in my life. You put that book upside down, so if I was relying on the wording, I would not have seen it. But I knew what color it was anyhow. How do you like my way and pivot? I forgot what I was going to say.
We have common ground.
What was that?
You have common ground.
Yes. Yes. But I'll say this. I'm going to be 68 in August. What's your excuse?
Happy birthday to you.
Not yet.
You still have time left, by the way.
I know. Thank you to me. Do you want to do another round? Should we do another round?
Sure, why not? We need to practice. Oh, okay. We're done? Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, keep going because we need to vote on the best table topic. So let's give some more options.
Okay. When do you feel most like yourself, Ruth?
Table Topics Master and other Toastmasters and guests. When do I feel most like myself? I'm going to change that just slightly to tell you what I enjoy the most, because when I'm feeling joy, then I feel like myself and I get out of it. I feel the most like myself when I'm at the ocean, because I've always felt since I was about 7 years old, and I used to come to South Florida from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to visit family. I've always felt that as long as the water was in the ocean bed, that everything was right with the world. So going back to the day that I was downsized, not to bring you down, because I currently have flipped the word to call it upsized. I was inspired during a gathering of friends, and we were actually at a prayer group. And I just felt like the Holy Spirit told me, stop calling it down because it's an opportunity for a new adventure. Call it up. And it's now in my vocabulary calling it upsized. And yes, it is a huge part of life. You always want it to happen to somebody else, not that you want them to be harmed, but when it happens to you, you learn. And I told the human resources manager and the company chief operating officer that I was going to the ocean, that I hadn't been there for a while. The funny thing is, it took me 3 weeks to get there, but that's okay. And it was fun when I was there. I gave myself about 5 minutes, and then I went to actually get my occupational license, which is needed here in Palm Beach County to start a business. So the ocean is significant to me. It inspires me, lets me know all's right with the world. And taking the opportunity to restart something that I had a few years ago and that I'm passionate about was a very inspiring day for me. Table Topics Master.
Thank you.
Good job, Ruth.
Did someone say something?
What is your biggest challenge, Mary?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. What is my biggest challenge? There's so many different challenges. It's hard to tell which one's the biggest. But I truly believe that my biggest challenge is not so much my family life, but it's not just building my business, but it's building a paradigm while still healing from the old ones. It's changing who you are and overcoming your obstacles and understanding that people are not always going to understand what you're doing or always agree with what you're doing when you're trying to do something different. The world is not always okay when it's unfamiliar, is where it's scary. When I created my business 5 years ago, I followed a new concept called the neurodiversity paradigm, and it was all about uplifting and looking at autistic individuals as their own expert of who they were. And it's about uplifting and looking at them as challenges and gifts, not them being broken. And now finally is starting to be accepted. So now I go from being a nobody and having to really explain things and get people to see my way to now people looking at it like, you're this great person. And that recognition is where I challenge or get challenged with what I'm doing. Thank you, Table Topic Master.
Got you, Mary.
Thank you. How do you define success, Pamela?
Thank you, Table Topics Master, and hello to everyone. Success to me is defined as being able to do something that you've always wanted to do and that you love doing. I know that we're programmed to believe, and at times I have believed that there is a financial gain to being successful. But honestly, you could have a lot of money and be really successful in that right and not be happy. Success to me is being happy, being connected to the people that I love, loving my life, the love of my husband, the love of my son. He's graduated with honors, and in a month's time, he's going to go off to college. And that's a huge success that I see in my life for where we've come from single parent, when I was a single parent, to where we are now, being able to find love, maintain balance in my life, starting a business, trying to grow that business, pivot when COVID hit to start another business in coaching and growing that. So to me, success is the people and the love that you have in your life, because when we all die, and that will come to all of us, we can't take physical things with us. What we do carry is love. And I know that to be true from people that I've lost in my life that still come to me in dreams, and it shows and it proves that love never dies. So that to me is success. And so when my time comes, I hope that I've left enough of an imprint of this world and done things for people that, I'm not going to be physically here, but at my funeral, if people are there and they're speaking kind things of me, that to me would be success. So thank you, Table Topics Master, and thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What have you read online recently that inspired you, Paul?
I've read so many things online. I am so glad that my screen time on my iPhone was set to off, because I probably would be showing you a screen time that, like, as if I would live on my phone. But I like marketing and I like digital marketing. But my biggest challenge, fellow Toastmasters, to be isn't really even a challenge at all. It's just a lifestyle and way of life. So whether you're marketing or looking for prospects or looking for new clients or looking for a job, it's definitely a numbers game, because I know I invited over 100 people here. And I know if you've ever had a seminar before, you always have to invite double and triple and quadruple the number of people that you expect to come, because something always comes up and you don't know what people's schedules are. So if I had to invite 100 to have 5 people here, think how many people you have to talk to get a job, to look for clients, to look for prospects, whatever you want to call them, or other guests to come next Monday, intent, or other marketing methods. Think of it as always a big numbers game. I know I started the timer and my phone went in lock mode, and then I look at the timer and it hasn't moved off of 0. And they're all they're like, oh no, Paul is in the middle of nowhere. When it comes to your biggest challenges, though, whether it's a job or or looking for a guest to come next Monday, don't fret it. Just go talk to 5 more people every day. Go talk to 5 more people every hour. And you don't have to sell them or pitch them. You could just say hi. I think one rule that I learned in marketing was the 3-foot rule. And the 3-foot rule was not pitch everybody within 3 feet of you. I'm sure it was smile, maybe wink at them. If you're married, maybe not a good idea to wink. Maybe that's directed at me because I'm in a room full of women. She's downstairs. Hey, I'm safe for a little while. Lucky, you on the bed still? Oh, he is. Back to you, table topic master. I better stop. I'm not going to thank you either for the podium.
Thank you. What can money not buy? And that's for me. Money. Well, I was going to say money cannot buy love, but I guess it depends upon how you define love as to whether money can buy love or not. Hello, Ruth.
That's a candy bar.
No, that's the baby Ruth. Money cannot buy a lot of things. Money cannot buy happiness. Of course, if we have enough money, we can buy things that will make us happy. But money itself cannot buy happiness. I think money can buy, well, let me put it this way. Money can't buy health. And there are some people who say it can, because if you have the money to get the proper medical treatments, you can. But if you've waited too long and you're at the point where whatever the options are no longer going to help, then money can't buy health either. I think what money can buy is directly related to the state of mind. That's supposed to be the yellow?
Yes, ma'am. Yellow.
Okay.
You're only at
All right.
minute and a half. You got time.
It's directly related to state of mind. And my state of mind at this moment is I don't mind if I don't have money. Back to table topics, master.
Yay. I don't know if you want to, toward the end, if you want to just throw Ruth a bone to do a table topic?
I'm going to.
She could incorporate her self-intro in it and tell us her city and state where she's from at the same time. I bet she could handle it.
And Marion, do you want to tell Ruth Presley the word of the day?
Oh, and the word of the day
Inspiring.
is inspiring.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the word, the definition for, like you need it, the definition for the word inspiring, Paul's definition today is give someone positive feelings. Give someone positive feelings, inspiring. And the sentence to use it in is if you really need that, which is this meeting, you can listen to the entire recording, 45 minutes so far. Is going to be very inspiring to re-listen to it. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Okay. Beyond the titles that others have given you, who are you, Ruth?
Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. My favorite title is wife. I enjoy being someone's wife. I've been with my husband since 1975, and we have a very good relationship. In fact, we have been inspiring to many other couples who wonder, how in the world do you stay with one person for so long? My response is, we did not have an exit plan. So when you don't have an exit plan, it makes it so much easier to stay. It makes you fight for it. Believe me, I am not one for abuse. However, if there isn't any abuse and mental abuse, physical abuse, there's always a way to work it out as long as you do not have an exit strategy. When there is an exit strategy, it makes it easier to go. And I've heard people say, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just walk away or we'll just leave. My husband and I are committed to not leaving one another. I would like to inspire you all, whether it be a family member or a friend or in marriage. Don't walk away unless you have to. Madam Table Topics Master.
Yay. We have to vote for the best table topic, Sherry. Just hinting.
I know. I always react that way because that's a tough one
To vote?
to vote.
Oh, well, this is good practice because voting for table topics is a little small thing in a club level. But we have a contest as well. That's more voting. And then we have
Okay.
the evaluation portion at the end after we hear our speakers today, which I'll hint at that too. I think it should be Ruth and Mary and Ruth. There's two Ruths. Two Ruths
Yes.
and Mary could be our speakers. Let Pamela watch. And next time she could prepare to do a 4 to 6 minute to get some free business coaching until we found in club where really tell people that they can get free business coaching by coming to our demonstration Toastmaster meeting, because you can get a evaluation from a distinguished Toastmaster in the room. And if there are other people that you know of that are distinguished Toastmasters, or if you have given 3 speeches, which I know Ruth Presley has given at least 3 speeches because she's club president at her Toastmasters club in Pennsylvania. Am I guessing right? All right. So on that note, didn't mean to steal the thunder. So back to Toastmaster of the evening, no longer Table Topics Master, after we vote. So maybe you want people to text you and maybe put your cell number in the chat, and we could all text Sherry, since she's the Toastmaster of the evening, who will award us at the end, who your favorite Toastmaster is. And Ruth, I guess you could do it by looks, or you could vote for yourself or whatever. So we'll all tabulate, and if Sherry could put her
I'm
cell
doing it right now.
into the chat, I see that she's putting, oh, good. Ruth had put in where she's a club member. And I'm going to go into my text as well as soon as I see it, which I already have your cell. But let's see, here it is. So I will put a name in the text and I will immediately text Sherry. I will put this name and you guys could do the same thing and then we'll proceed. You could tabulate them later, and since you're Toastmaster of the evening, you'll be able to give the awards after our general evaluation portion, after we hear our speakers, which have worked diligently, by the way, preparing for a speech today, because all three of our speakers today, Two Ruths and Mary, sounds like an album.
Mm-hmm.
Two Ruths and Mary, or a candy bar. Two Ruths and Mary. That's a very sweet candy bar.
Yes.
Working on my compliments to work up from my weaknesses. Okay, you guys should try that. All right.
All right.
Take it away, Toastmaster, before I forget something else.
All right. Let's see.
That's another one. Mary.
Ruth.
What you doing?
All right.
Don't tell us.
Looking.
Don't tell us who won That's for later.
I didn't hear any speeches, so I didn't want to vote.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It's all in jest and fun. It's for PR. We're going to take the nice, beautiful certificate and make somebody shine and then promote us for next Monday. So, Sherry, would you like to introduce the first speaker? Or did you have something else in mind?
No, I was going to introduce the first speaker.
Okay.
Which is Ruth Fieldback. I have met Ruth at another meeting. And I'm very interested in hearing what her plan is for her business, assuming that's what you're going to talk about. So I think I'm going to encourage you to introduce yourself as part of the speech. No?
First, her evaluator, and I guess it's me for the evaluations today. Unless Ruth wants to, could you volunteer? Voluntold, I can voluntold you to be an evaluator, and you could choose between. You can't do yourself, but Mary or Ruth Fieldback. You want to evaluate Ruth, or do you want to evaluate Mary, Ruth Presley? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Okay. I'll evaluate Mary.
Oh, okay, and Ruth. Okay, so Ruth evaluate Mary. And
I'm sorry. Are you asking Ruth Presley to be the evaluator?
I like that. You evaluate Mary, and then Ruth Presley can evaluate Ruth Fieldback, and then
who's evaluating Mary?
And then who's left? Nobody. That's everybody. Oh, and then Ruth Presley. I'll evaluate Ruth Presley.
Who's evaluating Mary?
I am. And I've definitely given more than 3 speeches.
Ruth Fieldback.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. I heard your voice, but I didn't know who it was.
And normally during the pathways, the evaluator for the person would say the point or the purpose of the speech from a speech manual that comes from Toastmasters. But since we are a demonstration club and it's more of an icebreaker speech, and we're all business people coming from a business platform here, there, everywhere, then the point of the speech that you guys are all doing, and use guys as 2 words, the point of the speech is to say why you started your business and how you did it. And then while I'm here, I'm going to take advantage to let you know the timing parameters for all the speakers, and I won't say it again between each speaker. So at 4 minutes, a traditional icebreaker speech, which is the first speech in all the pathways, 13 different pathways in Toastmasters. The first 5 minutes, I will put up the green book or the word life. And then at 6 minutes, you'll see the yellow book. And then at 7 minutes, you'll see the red book, of which you'll have 30 seconds to wrap up. And now,
Is this
oh,
Excuse me, Mr. Timer.
yes?
I thought the
Oh, did I
timing
say
parameters
5?
were
Sorry.
4 to 6
Sorry.
minutes.
I got
thank you.
Take 2?
traditional speeches on my mind, so scratch all those numbers, but the same colors of the book is 4 minutes at the green book, 5 minutes at the yellow book, and 6 minutes at the red book, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap up. Anything else?
At
Thank
least
you, and
we have fun.
What?
please make sure your cell phone is timing properly.
Yes, correct. I won't be speaking, so I should be good to go. I should be
Thank
good to
you.
go.
It's always hard when you're speaking to
Teamwork.
multitask like that.
Mhm.
That is true.
Okay. You're up, Ruth.
What an intro.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Paul inspired me early in the meeting, before the meeting officially started, with telling me what he just told all of us, that we're going to be speaking about the why of our meeting, or the why of our business, how we got started, why we are hopefully passionate about our business. I have 2 hats. One is my official business, which is currently in business. That's called Positively Representing You. And I try to be positive. I hope to be inspiring. I'm inspired by a lot of people. I've been inspired by each of you here. And I'm a people connector. I welcome each of you, if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or other social media, including Alignable, to look for me. My name has 3 parts. It's Ruth Field Beck, and I'd love to connect with each of you. My second business, which is in the pre-business status, is being a doula. And like me, before January 19th of this year, you may have never heard of the term doula. Doula means someone who's a servant. It's an ancient Greek meaning, ancient Greek word, and it's most usually used for a midwife, so bringing somebody into life. It's also used as an end of life specialist, companion, if you will. And I was out with a friend, couple of friends, after church, and we were talking about nurturing. I had the mother of the 2 daughters who were with, and we were all adults. My best friend was also with me. And we started talking about nurturing, caring for others. And one lady asked me, "Are you a doula?" I'd never heard of the word before. So she explained it to me, and I was immediately captivated because as a younger adult, I took care of people professionally as a home health aide and a hospital sitter. And even before then, I helped to take care of campers who had special needs during the summer, during my probably my sophomore and junior years of high school. I'm trying to remember the timing, but I believe those would have been the 2 years. And that was a lot of fun. Stepping back for a moment to tell you something very, very special that happened yesterday. When I was at my church, a young man, he's probably in his 20s, and he has the emotional maturity and thinking pattern of a 7-year-old. I've been attending there since maybe around Thanksgiving. I've gotten to know a lot of people, but I've gotten to know Brett kind of from afar and through other people. We haven't had many one on one conversations. And it's been kind of something I've really had a goal for, just to get to relate with him a little bit better. Yesterday, he was talking with a woman who I really like. She's very likable. I respect her. She's a mother, and she's also the daughter of someone who this young man, Brett, was close with. So Brett and Stephanie were talking, and I kind of imposed a little bit to see how far I could get with Brett. Brett likes to hold hands, he likes to use his cell phone, and those kind of show a maturity beyond 7 years old. And some of my closer friends at the congregation have gotten to know him. He chose to sit down next to me and my best friend yesterday, and we were holding hands the whole time, which just made me feel so special. And at this point in my life, I need to share love, and I enjoy giving love. I'm a hugger, and it was real special. I hope as a doula that I'll be able to give that to people, because my doula certificate is for those who are at the end of life. And that can make some people feel uncomfortable, and you don't want to press too much, but you want to love, I want to love those people who are moving towards that transition towards eternity. In my viewpoint, I want to help them to go to heaven. And when going back to January 19th, I was so enthralled with this being a profession of something that I had helped my brother, my mother, my father, my grand aunt. And when I realized that, I moved. And I'm not always a real quick mover. Sometimes I'm a procrastinator. But I moved to tell my husband that morning. And he said, honey, if you really believe that this is where you're supposed to go in life. And I was still working full time plus. But I said, yes, I really believe it. I took 3 months to go through what was supposed to be a 4 to 12 week course. I got a 94% on the final exam, and I'm still trying to sort that out and wait for that special moment, that right moment to go and start promoting myself as a doula. I think I'm ready, and this opportunity to share it with you is helping me cement that I'm ready. Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next speaker is my friend Mary Stanley. We met at, it wasn't Toastmasters, it was another meeting. But we met before this Toastmasters group started, and I'd like to think that we became friends. She's a very open person. What you see is what you get. And I like that and respect that in people. And it's your turn.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Hello, everybody. I'm Mary Stanley, the founder of Supportive Minds. I'm a veteran, a proud mother of 2 autistic children, and a neurodivergent woman who spent a lifetime navigating a world not built for people like us. I didn't start Supportive Minds with a business plan. I started with a mission, a calling, a conviction that we must do better for those they are told they are too much, not enough. Supportive Minds was born from a fire, from exhaustion, from working and watching inspiring people being dismissed, pathologized, silenced, punished for how their nervous system responds to an overwhelming world. I was tired. I was tired of seeing autistic children treated like problems instead of whole people. Tired of watching parents break under guilt, not from the lack of love, but from being handed the wrong tools. Tired of seeing trauma survivors and veterans who, given everything, told to move on while their nervous system still screamed for safety. Most of all, I was tired of watching brilliance being buried. I worked with some most amazing and inspiring people I've ever met, children, teens, adults. The intuition, the sensitivity, the creative wise, they're not broken. There's not a deficit. It's just unseen. And that's why Supportive Minds is here to change. Every nervous system tells a story. Every behavior is a communication. Meltdowns, shutdowns, outbursts are not failures. They are messages from bodies trying to survive. If we want people to thrive, we must stop fixing them and start listening. At Supportive Minds, we don't use behavior charts. We don't force compliance. We don't tell kids to mask. We don't shame parents for being overwhelmed. What we do is we co-create compassion, personalized support, grounded in science, lived experience, and whole heart. Programs like Operation Unmask, Sensory Armor, and Mission Thrive aren't just surface skills. They're built with self-trust, self-regulation, self-ownership, and autonomy. They help people feel safe in their bodies. They help them feel confident in their identities and inspired to fully live. We work with children labeled aggressive. Who are actually in sensory distress. We support parents blamed and judged when they just need education and understanding. I guide veterans and trauma survivors out of survival mode into reconnection with their emotions, their relationships, and help them find their next purpose. These are not just resilient people, they're inspiring. They've endured systems that silence them. They've adapted into a face of constant misunderstanding. They keep showing up, loving deeply, searching for meaning, despite a world that often tells them they're wrong. What makes Supportive Minds so different, and it's not just its credentiality, it's not just framework, it's the whole lens, the respect and safety. Because I've been there, I've masked, I've had meltdowns, I've felt like my truth was too heavy for the world to be told. I've fought for my children's dignity in rooms where professionals saw only problems. I've survived and chosen to live. Everything we offer is rooted in lived experience, trauma-informed science, unwavering belief in human dignity. We don't lead from pedestals. We walk beside people in the trenches. We have been in those trenches. We work with them and we get them to understand that they are just wired slightly differently. We don't chase normal. We embrace what's real. We trust wisdom of the body, the intelligence of the nervous system, and sacredness of identity. Deeply inspiring strength of people who show up authentic, imperfect, and brave in a world that makes it so hard to do so. Parents who feel like failing, teachers who want to do better, veterans trying to just feel safe again. A neurodivergent adult just beginning to unmask. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are already enough. You are deeply, profoundly inspiring. We're not a coaching practice. It's a revolution. We're placing our healing comes from connection, not correction. When you unmask without shame, reclaim your voice and thrive. We don't ask people to earn dignity. We don't ask them to shrink. We rebuild support that truly supports. So let's inspire the future that works for all of us. Unmask, reclaim, thrive. That's the work. That's the vision. That's the invitation. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Inspiring. And lastly, I met Ruth Presley, I believe it was at a Saturday morning, Early Birds and Entrepreneurs meeting. And I immediately felt a connection. I'm looking forward to hearing Ruth tell us about her business and how she got started. Ruth?
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and honored guest. Imagine you have a younger sister in her 30s, pregnant, and you get a call. Your sister's on her way to the hospital. Boom! What do you mean she's on her way to the hospital? I just saw her. What's going on? Now you're spending night after night in the hospital holding your sister's hand, who's in a coma, and no one knows what's going on. Imagine sitting next to a bed reading the same psalm over and over and over again. Psalm 27. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Over and over again. Wondering what is going on? Why? What happened to my sister? We went through hell and back to hell and back and forth for 2 long weeks as my sister was in this coma. 2 weeks later, and unfortunately, she lost the baby. And I was there holding her hand when the baby was born, stillborn. She was still in the coma. I was angry. I was confused. I'm like, God, why did this happen to my sister? After 2 weeks, they said, this is what's going on. They decided that it was MS and, her body just shut down for no apparent reason. And we decided, after hearing the diagnosis, the prognosis, and all those things that doctors try to tell you, we decided to try nutrition. We said, you know what? And this was back in the 90s, 1992, I believe. You know what? We're going to try nutrition. All those things that the doctor said, she would never walk again. She would never talk again. She would never get pregnant again. With nutrition and prayer, everything turned around. I fell in love with nutrition back then it was 1994. So fast forward, we're now in 1997. I'm 41 years young. And I'm laying in the hospital bed, wondering what happened to me. Why are you here? Hey, you're taking care of your body. What happened? My heart failed. At 41 years old, I had congestive heart failure. But I discovered down the road, I was caring so much for everyone else, I left me out of the picture. So my heart couldn't take it anymore. And I told my heart, I failed you because my heart didn't fail me. Your body is always fighting for you to keep you alive. I found and I know that good nutrition turned everything around. I had to up level my game, come to realize that there were certain things I couldn't do anymore, and there were people I just couldn't help. I had to make boundaries so that I could receive my healing and bring my body back to normal health. Nutrition saved my life, without a doubt. I started eating more fruits and veggies. I started drinking more water, but that's a piece of the pie.
Come in.
You still have to go to bed, nurture your relationships, set boundaries for yourself, get your body moving, meditation, getting rid of toxins. Toxins include toxic people, by the way, just saying. There are some toxic people in this world, and they can make you sick. So I had to cut off some people so that I could live, so that I could thrive again. And then in the midst of this, and this has been over 30 years now that I've been doing nutrition, and I've heard a lot of different things. But the one thing I do know, if you change your nutrition, so will your health change. When you start fueling your body with good fruits, veggies, water, rest, sleeping, all those things, your body will turn around, because we are created by, a friend of mine says, God is a creative genius. In his genius, our bodies are meant to heal themselves, but we have to give our bodies the fuel to do so. I'm here to encourage and inspire us all to do better by your bodies. Take care of you so you can take care of others. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Paul, what am I doing now? Because I'm looking at the paper.
Yeah, actually, now you would just ask the timer. Actually,
Evaluate.
I'll do the timer during the general evaluation portion of the meeting to save
Okay.
time, because I want to get as close to 7 as possible. In interest of time, I'll go over the times for the speakers. I'm the general evaluator for the meeting, and I'll introduce the third part of our meeting, which Sherry let us all know the 3 parts of the Toastmaster meeting. So in the evaluation portion, the speakers will learn what they did well and what could be improved upon, not what sucked. So in Toastmasters, we're very positive. It's a great laboratory. Thanks for the smile, Ruth, and the agreement on that one. We definitely want to make it in a positive light. And this is where you get cookies, not the kind that come with the computer, Ron. I saw that Ron came in. This is the Oreo cookie method, where if you have any Oreo cookies in your house, feel free to go get them. And you could eat them while we're doing the evaluation portion of the meeting. But she is not nutritious, she's saying, so don't get them. Or she doesn't have any. So, or she wishes,
I don't have any.
she had some. Lassie, sounds like cookie. Sounds like Ruth doesn't want. Anyway, so and I said interest of time, and I like to talk. Very bad for me to have be general evaluator role, but at the same time, you learn in every single role. So I encourage everybody to do all the roles. So you start off on a high note as an evaluator, and we're going to hear from 3 amazing evaluators, Ruth and then Mary. They're going to swap places, and Ruth is going to evaluate Mary. Mary's going to evaluate Ruth, and then I'll evaluate Ruth Presley. So Ruth Fieldbeck, there's 2 Ruths. So, I mean, what are the chances of 2 Ruths? I mean, we should all start playing the lottery or go to the circus. This is your business circus at Biz Leaders Toastmasters at OMG Biz Cafe.
I thought Sherry was doing an evaluation, not me.
Oh,
No.
you, Mary, are going to follow Ruth back. I purposely have you second to follow Ruth Fieldbeck's lead. I'm going to have Ruth go first, and she's going to give us a stunning evaluation for Mary's speech. I hope you took lots of notes. Start off on a high note. Say some great things like comfortable, interested in the topic. Maybe she told a story, how powerful those are, and then maybe give her some wisdom. The center of the Oreo cookie, some wisdom of how she could improve, and then end on a high note and throw in a little zinger of what she did well at the end, so we'll leave her wanting to come back. On that note, let's go dive into the timer, so how you know how long the evaluations go. So for 2 minutes, as the timer, you'll see the green book. At 2.5 minutes, the yellow book, and at 3 minutes, the red book, at which you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up, because we don't have a whole lot of time. I wish we could have 2-3 hour Toastmaster meeting, but maybe you guys also have something else to do as well that's really pressing, like get a job.
I do. I do.
Tax return, all these things as well. So, Ruth, why don't you take the stage and tell us how'd Mary do?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and everybody who was in Mary's audience and got to hear her speak. Mary, I thought your speech was excellent. You were really smooth. You were very organized. You really explained to us in a depth of what your speak or what your business is. Trying to remember the name. Repeat for us the name, please. Simply Solutions.
Supportive Minds.
Supportive Minds, thank you. I'm sorry. I would have brought 3x5 cards to write down some notes to be better prepared. But Supportive Minds, and I'll try to get that into my mind if it will support me, because I really am so impressed by you that if you're on Facebook or Lineable, I'd love to connect. I love your reason why. I love that you shared with us about your own personal experience without too much detail to take us away from what your focus is, because your purpose of your speech was to tell us about supportive minds, not the life and times of Mary. But it was enough that we understand that you relate to your clients and you also relate to their families. I think it's very relatable in my life. I have a son who is an adult and is doing really well, but he has some Asperger's, and I would definitely want him to use your services if he had the need. It was a little bit like a talking brochure, but that was helpful because you were presenting it in a really personable way, and we could feel the passion and feel the confidence that if we need to use your service or choose to use your service, that we know that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. I don't know if it was my perception with my eyes, which sometimes get a little blurry, or if it was that perhaps you had written something down in preparation of speaking. But during most of the meeting, I saw your face, and your face, your expressions really make us want to know you better. If you were looking down, I would suggest and encourage you that you might be just a little more inspiring if you look up a little bit more as you're speaking, and also look at each person in your audience. Nevertheless, I really have a lot of confidence in you, and I hope to continue to attend more of these Biz Cafe meetings, and I hope that you do, because I want to get to know you better. And if you ever need any marketing or promotions, let me know, because you're exactly the kind of client that I would love to spend some more time with, or the business owner I would love to spend more time with. Thank you, and best of success in all you do.
Thank you.
And General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ruth. I'm just going to make a note of the time, little multitasking. Okay. Evaluator number one. Evaluator number two is Mary will be evaluating Ruth in the same timing criteria, 2, 2.5, and 3. Go ahead, Mary.
Ruth F, right?
Yes.
All right. I loved your compassion behind what you're doing and why you're doing it, and how you're looking to expand. When you speak, you have that emotion behind it, that authentic emotion that makes it absolutely, want to gravitate towards you and want to listen to what you're saying. The one thing that got a little overwhelming for me when you were doing your talking, instead of using the and as a conjunction to drag out long sentences, just stopping for a minute and pausing. Your reason why is a lot like my reason why. And I love that aspect. And I would love to connect with you and talk to you more, because I'd love to get your story out there, especially with the doula part of it, because it's starting to come back. And you need your story out there, because there are a lot of women that would really benefit from your work and where you're trying to go with this. And there's so many ways to share your story that I would love to be able to help you with, to get you out there. especially with how authentic you are. And that is the phenomenal part of what you were saying and made it really inspiring to me, was just how you're like a book, between your face, your facial expressions, your eye movements, you can see through you that deeper level and give you that. I want to hear more of the story, and I want to hear, more of the why. And it's, wanting me to, the way you do it presents it in a way that wants me to connect with you even more, to keep talking to you more, to find out more, and pulling those pieces out of you. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Mary, for that excellent evaluation. And I'm glad that you could each evaluate each other and made it even more meaningful. And next up, in interest of time, we're going to go a smidge past 7. I hope you guys could stay to hear the rest of it. If you really have to go, I'm recording it. I'm not putting it anywhere unless you guys don't object to me putting it up on our podcast. If anybody doesn't put something in the chat that says I totally object, then I'll put it there. But otherwise, let's see. So our next evaluator is of Ruth Presley, would be myself. So I'll start the clock and I'm going to keep an eye on it. What could I say about Ruth? Well, first of all, right off the bat, what I really want to say, fellow Toastmasters, guests, most welcome guests, table topic master, Toastmaster, president, especially Ruth, you had me at like a hello because of your powerful personal story. You could see the passion and the enthusiasm in your speech. I've heard so many businesses in the health and wellness area that just pitch products. I've seen so many health and wellness area that just say the benefits and the features and they go run down the line of their businesses. But the fact that you told a story that was, to me, very touching, and it was real life, and it was your life, and it was your family, and it was your sister. I think that made the case that much more. I think that anybody that's in the health and wellness industry should hear your speech that you did tonight, and they should incorporate that kind. Everybody must have some kind of story. And if you're not in the health and wellness industry, maybe you're in an industry where you could actually, whatever business you're in, whether it's you're an enrolled agent, whether you're a neurodivergent specialist, or perhaps maybe you're building a social media site, Ron, or perhaps maybe Pamela is a coach. There's some personal story that you should remember to put that in your story. Because if it's not, then it comes down to the features and the benefits and trying to compete on price and all these other things. And when you compete on price, most likely what happens, people compare you to other people and then you lose to the lowest bid. And we don't want to compete on price. We want to have some kind of unique selling proposition. And Ruth did that so amazingly well. Her unique selling proposition is something none of us could do. It's Ruth's story. It's not any of our stories. So nobody can compete with that because nobody could copy your story, especially when Ruth's name is on it. I would like to give you a tip to improve, because I think all presidents of their Toastmasters clubs, whether you're distinguished Toastmaster or not, always can find something to improve. And especially on this video version, it's very easy to become stale or lose interest in people online, and they're multitasking, they're eating their dinner, or they're late for whatever. I would encourage you to throw something up on the screen. Maybe throw up wasn't really the best choice of words. But if you could put something on the screen, even if it's a quote or something, and say, my sister gave me this, and then show it. And this was actually on the desk of my mom when I was cleaning out her office. And it said, and though she be but little, she is fierce. And my mom is gone. But if you had something to talk about your sister and hold up that prop, that would maybe make it even more powerful. My time is up. So I got wrapped up into it. But thank you for speaking. And I hope I conveyed all the reasons why your speech was great. And of all of the three evaluators, if you guys all could, again, use guys as two words, not one. If you guys could vote for, somebody said that to me. Now I keep doing it. So Ruth evaluated Mary. Mary evaluated Ruth Fieldbeck, and Paul evaluated Ruth Presley. So if you could put Ruth Fieldbeck or Mary Stanley or Paul Finkelstein and text the number that Sherry put in the chat for your favorite evaluator, and then Sherry will text me. You have my number in your phone, I'm sure. Text me the winner for the best evaluator, and also text me the winner for the table topics. And while you're doing that, I'll just do the general evaluator role for the overall evaluation of the meeting. When you're general evaluator, it's one of the roles in Toastmasters. If you're not familiar, Ruth is, and the other Ruth is, and Mary May, etc., and Sherry as well. You evaluate the whole meeting and take copious notes, of which it's almost impossible doing so many multitasking to do it. So I encourage Pamela to come back and help us not have to multitask so much. And maybe you could do a small little role like inspiration or something like that. That's always great roles to do. As the I would ask for what the reports are from the tag, as what Sherry said, to help me remember the three helpers for a Toastmaster meeting, which are timer, counter, and grammarian. The one that I was not doing was counter. I think that was Mary. Do you want to just touch upon 30 seconds what how we did as a club to be, how we did in the filler word today?
Sure. So Ruth had the least. She only had one. Ruth Presley had only one. Everybody had very few, except for me and Ruth F. We had the most. Mine were so, and Ruth's filler word that she used a lot of was the and as a to drag sentences out.
Thank you, Mary. and
I can make it longer if you want, but you said you want it short.
I did, because I'm trying to multitask and looking to see the tally of the votes from Sherry. If you could send me an pick somebody, surprise me, Sherry, of all the tabulations. You make the tie vote and text me somebody's name from the three evaluators as well, Sherry, as well as the table topics. While she's doing that, the timer, all for table topics, by the way, as we're getting the votes in, everybody did qualify. Ruth was at 142, Mary was at 130, Pamela was at 205, I was at 157, and Sherry was at 206, and Ruth Presley came in at 135 and told us about her self-introduction and her table topic all in one. And then for the evaluations, all qualified as well. The evaluations, Ruth at 315, and Fieldbeck evaluating Mary, and Mary at 312, and then Paul around 330. So just in the nick of the wire. And then for our speaker, so Ruth Fieldbeck told us about her business in 6 minutes and 30 seconds, right at the wire, before we had to drag the hook. And then Mary Stanley, that's good practice, by the way, doing here in Toastmasters, or Toastmasters to be Charter Club, because when you're in the real world, when you're practicing for those job interviews, you might want to keep it just the right touch point. Mary Stanley at 518 for your speech, right in the middle there, and Ruth Presley at 547. And I guess she'll get the recording on the way later, because I don't see her on my screen. Okay, so now the general evaluator will turn the meeting over to the Toastmaster of the day. And I don't know why I had you send them to me, because now I have to send them back to you. And the Toastmaster of the day actually gets the honor of giving the awards for the best table topic and the best evaluator. So Sherry, a drum roll, please, if you would come on microphone and tell us your decision to break any ties and the best evaluator as well.
Okay. For table topics, the award goes to Pamela.
Yay.
And
Hey.
for,
Thank you.
and for evaluator, the award goes to Mary.
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 I was going to say which Mary. Hey,
There's
Mary.
only one of us.
There's only one of you. Okay. Thank you so much also to all of you for coming here today and playing the role of participant. And also we had some extra guests here and distinguished guests. Ron Sasson, the creator of this Skylarverse that we're meeting in here, that helped me create this theater for us to meet in as well. The only other role before we officially end the meeting overall as itself is for the president to introduce the vice president of education, which we don't technically have one yet, but the vice president of education would take care of the roles for next week. So maybe just two major roles for next week are Toastmaster of the evening and table topics. So is anybody, by a show of hands, would love to be the table topic master, which is to do the impromptu section of the meeting? Ruth, it looks like she really wants that. So I got Ruth in for that, Ruth Field Beck. And then the Toastmaster of the evening, I see Mary's like, wow, oh my God, really? That's great, fantastic. So I have 2 guarantee members coming next week. And then all the rest of us are definitely going to come as well. So now I'll return the meeting back over to the club president pro tem from the vice president of education, and I will officially adjourn the meeting and put my phone gavel or water gavel down on my desk. Thank you, Beck.
And I won't be here next week.
Coming today. Okay. Thank you so much for letting us know as well. Are you traveling to see the kiddies or on another conference for enrolled agents?
No, I'm actually traveling home from seeing the kiddies.
Enjoy.
Gotcha. So that will be a nice reward for tax season. Or we're now long past tax season, but you have extensions. On that note, now that the meeting is officially over, I will.
Paul and Sarah, the real couple that cares about your Medicare, says that Tony from TRCVoiceovers.com is awesome. If you want the best voice on the planet for any Audible project, don't hesitate to reach out to him at Tony@TRCVoiceovers.com.